Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
Well, if you're in Ocala, you gotta participate in the culture of Ocala. And if there's anything that is the definition of our culture, it's the horse profession, the horse industry. I don't like to call it an industry. The equestrian world. In the studio is Jonathan Holling and Peter S. Gray, as well as Karen Eileen. She doesn't want to say a whole lot, but she's in here. And we're here to talk today about an event that starts this coming Saturday. It's the 2012-2013 International Eventing Series kickoff, and this is all happening at the Florida Horse Park. Let's make sure I've got my information correct. We'll give a website and other ways to get more information in just a bit. Plus, I believe in today's program we're giving away something. Joe just handed me some information regarding a giveaway, and we'll find out what that is, actually, when we get there. Jonathan Holling and Peter S. Gray. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
It's okay to say your middle initial. Nobody usually does that, right?
Not usually.
It's so formal. Where's your accent? Yeah, I heard you speaking about your accents off the air. Where's yours from?
I didn't know I had one, but maybe Canada.
Maybe Canada. Okay.
Hey?
Yeah, there it is. That's always the telltale sign is the A, right? What is the event happening Saturday? What happens?
On Saturday, we have our first horse trial happening down at the Florida Horse Park. It's the first in a series of 4 competitions that's going on down there. It's the Ocala Horse Properties Horse Trials.
Okay, and you both ride, correct?
We both ride, we both compete, and for this event, we both organize it and try to put it together.
I got you. And do you compete against one another? Are you arch rivals or something?
Daily.
Daily. All right. Now, if I, as a spectator, if I'm watching this, how do I know if you've done well or not? Aside from, falling off the horse or something like that.
Well, usually if you come out of the ring and you see the competitors crying, that usually means that they didn't do so well. No, actually, it's a very good question. Our sport is a series of penalty points awarded for the 3 phases, and you go to the scoreboard, and that's going to be very obvious to the spectators where that is, and they can keep track of how the competitors are doing.
It's interesting how you said that. Penalty points that are awarded.
Yes.
It almost seems like an anti-thing. You're given negatives, and so you start out with like a 100, and they keep taking them away as you make mistakes.
No, the way it works is that it's a 3-phase competition. So we start out with the dressage phase, which is sort of compared to the compulsories in figure skating. Everybody rides the same pattern, and you're given a penalty mark for that. You're trying to get the lowest mark that you can.
I got
So let's say you started the competition on a 27. That would be quite a good mark. Then you have 2 jumping phases where what you're really trying to do is come away with no penalties added. So every time you knock down a rail in the show jumping, you would get 4 points put on your score. And then when you go cross country, it's timed, so you could have time penalties added, or if you were to miss a fence or a horse were to stop at a fence, you'd have penalties added. But the great thing for the spectators is we have an announcer out there who will be keeping
that
everybody.
Always helps.
Yeah, we like people who are good on announcing.
Yes,
you can come on out and help us out at some point.
Let us know what's going on.
Exactly. So they keep everybody informed, and then as Peter said, there's also a scoreboard. And the other really cool thing is anybody who's out there with their cell phones and has a smartphone, you can actually also keep up online.
Oh wow!
So you can sort of watch your favorite competitor and know almost instantly how everybody's doing. It's a pretty neat sport.
Is this a precursor to the Olympic trials, or is this the preliminary Olympic trials?
Well, this competition would be more for sort of getting the season rolling. The Olympics were this year, and if you guys recall, we had you out for our April event, and that was sort of a lead up to the Olympics. And actually, I'm happy to report that one of our competitors for the U.S., Karen O'Connor, was at that competition in April. She actually was on the radio with you, and she did finish 9th at the Olympics in London, which was pretty exciting. And
just being there had to be exciting, right?
Absolutely.
Just being part of that whole thing.
Karen's not the sort that likes to just be there. She goes to win.
Well, I guess that would be true for everybody, but you know what I mean.
But we are very proud of her, and we have a lot of competitors like that at this series of competitions.
Do you have people who show up who don't need the announcer, don't need the smartphone? They just know they're so familiar with the sport.
Yeah, we get a lot of very knowledgeable spectators, but we also want to make sure that we cater to those who know nothing about the sport. So we're really encouraging a lot of spectator turnout this time, and we want to educate them and keep them informed and let them be part of what we do out there.
Because next time there's something and there's a visitor from up north or whatever, they go out and they can be the know-it-all. They can look what I know.
Exactly. The cross-country that John mentioned, there are two ways to get penalties: time, which you mentioned, and then jumping if you refuse or the rider falls off. But this is the really exciting part of our sport. It's a time competition, and for the upper levels it's actually quite difficult to make the time. It's kind of our downhill skiing race of what we do in equestrian. It's a super exciting phase of our competition.
Is the cross-country course and the jumps, are they regimented as to how long the cross-country course needs to be, what kind of things what kind of obstacles you have to do, and the height of the jumps and things like that?
Yeah, we start out with the baby division, and they do between 12 and 14 jumps, and it's over just over a kilometer and a half. And as you go up the ranks and the horses have more experience, they have to jump more jumps and bigger jumps and go faster and go longer. So it's a gradual thing, but it's a good test of strength and endurance.
If I was in a competition, let's say piano, okay, and I could practice on that piano today and that piano tomorrow, and by the time the competition came, I'd probably be okay. Do you have to practice on the same horse, though? Is that important that you and the horse become one, that particular horse?
Absolutely. It's it's a partnership that you work for years to build. For people who are doing things riding at the top level of this sport, it's not unusual to have them have been working with that animal for between 5 and 7 years. But just touching a little bit on sort of the levels out there, one of the other really neat things about this sort of the low-level, younger horses and then the very top level is this is one of the few sports in the world where you can be an absolute novice in the sport and be competing right alongside of an Olympian. You might be competing,
oh, really?
They might be competing on their young horse, and you're competing on quite an experienced horse.
I gotcha.
But that's one of the really unusual, really neat things, is we have competitors at this competition as young as 9 years old who are just getting going. We have other competitors who might be just getting into it later in life. And then at the same time, we have, at this competition, we will have the gold medalist from the Athens Olympics competing.
So the horse sort of knows what to do.
The horses know what to do, and the competitors know what to do.
We have some prizes, and I just wanted to make sure I understood what we were giving away. The first one says the KEO Fox Equine Sports Massage, $25. What is that? Do you guys know?
Yeah, that's Keo Fox. She is a...
oh, that's a person.
That is a person.
Keo Fox, okay.
that is a person.
Okay.
It is an equine massage therapist who will be present at the event. So
massaging horses?
Working on horses.
Really? They
are serious athletes. It is a real partnership, and it's to get the top out of your animal. And so any of the competitors that are there can have their horses worked on, and anybody who comes in for, who can get this on the radio today, Keo Fox lives here in the area and can travel out as well.
You can get your horse massage.
Absolutely.
Okay,
you might be jealous.
So that implies that there's a lot. I mean, sometimes you hear, you get a massage before an Olympic event or before a sporting event, and you perform better. As humans, you think, well, maybe that's all psychological, but I don't think a horse would be psychologically improved. It must be something to the physical aspect of massage.
Absolutely. We put a lot of time and effort and money into these animals, and so you want to make sure they are feeling 100% their best to go perform for you.
Okay.
Do you have veterinarians on staff during the event?
Yes, we have veterinarians on site this coming Saturday. But just going back to the question that you were asking about the massage, at the Olympic level, this competition takes place over 3 days, and we explained how grueling the cross-country is. So the Saturday night after cross-country, before the Sunday show jumping, is when we really get to work on our horses, massaging, walking, trying to get them really feeling comfortable for the next day. But on Saturday, all 3 phases are happening in the same day, which makes it a really fun sort of spectator day.
Oh, wow. Out. So this is what you're really working towards. When we have actors in here from the Civic Theater or from the Insomniac Theater, I mean, they're working months on a script, and then they finally have their moment on stage. Is that the same thing with you? You're working a long time for a pretty short event?
Yeah, it does take a lot of preparation, and it's interesting. John said we're both competitors, and we appreciate when we go to high-level competitions or competitions where organizers have put in a lot of time and effort into presenting a really great course. So we're trying to do that in turn for our customers who are our friends, a lot of them, and other riders.
Okay, well, we want to give away the first prize is the Keo Fox Equine Sports Massage. This would be for somebody with a horse.
Well,
right.
Or if they have a friend who has a horse,
A friend with a horse.
could do that too.
All right, so you call in if you want it, and what you need to do is whinny. That's what you call up and you whinny, you get the prize.
I think that's right. Maybe the best whinny.
The best whinny is the winner. And Don Good is the other prize we're giving away this morning. It's in Tarja Art Wood Designs. What is that? Okay,
we're going to have Karen answer this one. I know, but Karen will give you a better description.
Yeah, okay.
That is, Don works with many different kinds of wood, and he creates sculptural pieces and wood designs out of all of these different. And some of them are horse heads, some of them are landscapes. I mean, it's a wide design. He's from the villages. He called and he said he wanted to be on board, and I said, yay.
All right. So we have one of them to give away too, and for that one you have to make a chiseling sound. If you make a chiseling sound, you get the wood design. Whinnying sound, you get the sports massage, and we'll just leave it at that. If you want to call us and kind of play along with us, we're just having fun here. More importantly, is we need to remind the listeners about the event on Saturday because we're all invited. It's at the Florida Horse Park. What time, and is there a ticket price and all that?
Admission is free, and it starts at 9 a.m. Is that right, Peter?
Actually, the first horse starts at 8 o'clock and goes till 4:20 in the afternoon.
4:20. Wow, you've got it down to a science. 4:20.
4:20. And the other really cool thing about this is there's obviously this horse show going on that we're talking about, but we also have a vendor village, which is some of the stuff that we're giving away right now. There's going to be a whole lot of vendors there. There'll be Coach Carlson's bouncy houses will be there, so the kids will have something to do and play. And it's really, for myself, being a father, I'm always looking for sort of fun things to take my family out to do on the weekend that requires something other than sitting inside watching Sesame Street. I love Sesame Street.
And being a dad myself, so you are like, if I were to take my son when he was little to like a Tampa Ray, what was it called, Devil Race back then. It was always fun to meet the players. You are the players, so you're the guys that we get to sign. What do you sign? No. What do you have? Saddles?
We sign anything people want. I don't even want to tell you things that we've been asked to sign. But, it's a really fun day. The kids can go out there. They can brush elbows, like I said, with the defending gold medalists from the Olympics. Actually, I know that the Athens Olympic gold medalist will be there competing, and I'm pretty sure that David O'Connor, who was the gold medalist from the Sydney Olympics, is going to be present as well.
Oh, very cool.
So you will be right around the top people in the sport, but just a lot of fun things and a great way to be outside and getting some exercise and fresh air.
It's a beautiful place, too.
Great park.
Yeah.
And the ages of the horses, they're not particular like the ages of race horses. Like when they're 3, they race for a year and then they're done.
No, you're correct, Robin. We have very young horses. Usually our youngest would be 4 or 5 years old. But, yeah, just like the riders, they can go well into their teens. Well, the riders into their 60s. But the horses well into their teens. And actually, a lot of them don't peak until maybe 14 or 15 years old. So a competition horse has quite a long competition life if he gets lots of massage.
Do they like it? Do the horses like it? I mean, is it fun for them?
They love it. They love it. You know, if one thing about training horses, and John and I train a lot of horses as well as riders and compete ourselves, but a horse is going to let you know if he's enjoying something or not, and quite often we have to move them into a different discipline of competition if they're not enjoying it. But the ones that are there, the horses absolutely love it.
And if you want to be there, it is this Saturday. 8 o'clock is when it starts, 8 in the morning. It's the 2012-2013 International Eventing Series kickoff, and among others, you will see Jonathan Holling and Peter Gray. They're both. The event is called Equiventures, or is that the company that sponsors it?
Equiventures is us. We are the organizing committee.
Okay.
And Larry, if I could just interject, there's going to be lots of food for anyone who wants to come out. We've got some excellent food vendors, but also one thing we're starting this year is an information booth. We have had visitors who really don't know which direction to go to watch the competition. So
I imagine.
As they come into the park, we want to encourage them to go park their car and go to the information booth and feel really, really welcome and find out where they can go and what they can do and have a great day.
Okay. Is there a website that I can let the listeners know about?
Yeah, if they go to Equiventures.com, there'll be all kinds of information on there.
Okay, and the Florida Horse Park has a website. Does that give the information as well?
Yeah, and I think there's a link to Equiventures as well. And
Okay,
so the
got it.
Florida Horse Park website, I believe that's flhorsepark.com.
Horsepark.com. Okay, did we leave anything out, Karen? There's one with them. Let's see. She had me a note. Pick up certificates at the Florida Horse Park. Okay, so if you win, nobody's called in right now, but we've got to take a commercial break. But if you call in later on, if nobody else has already called in for them, you are entitled to them. You don't have to win the off the air. They'll just tell us you want them. The Keo Fox Equine Sports Massage for your horse, or the Intarsia Art Wood Designs by Don Good. And each of those certificates are worth $25. If you want them, just call us. The first person who claims them will get them, and you'll pick up your certificates at the Florida Horse Park. Thank you all for coming in. Always fun to talk about exciting things like this. John Holling, Peter Gray, and Karen Eileen, thank you. Thank you, all three of you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
We will take a little break and be right back.
In specialty crop news from the Southeast AgNet, well, to ensure continued industry movement towards case-level traceability, the Produce Traceability Initiative Leadership Council has agreed that a buyer-centered implementation